Hi everyone, Tridibhay from TGT and welcome to another video. A few days ago, Apple released iOS 15.3 to the public. This is available to all the supported iPhones and iPods around the world now. The next day, they released iOS 15.4 Beta 1 with lots of new features. In this video, we will talk about iOS 15.3, which is the latest public release. This update came in around 5.13 gigabytes in this iPhone 12 mini and under 5 gigabytes on all the other devices I have here. Here is an iPhone XR and an iPhone 6s. Along with that, Apple also released iPadOS 15.3, which I am using in this iPad Air 4th generation, watchOS 8.4, which I am using in this Apple Watch Series 5, Apple tvOS 15.3, macOS Monterey 12.2. I have made a separate video for that, and HomePodOS 15.3. I have that on this Apple HomePod. To check for the update, go to Settings, then General, then Software Update, and you should see the update available here. If you are on iOS 15.3 RC version, then you have to go and delete the beta profile from VPN and device management first to see this update. But if you are already on iOS 15.4 beta 1, then only deleting the beta profile will not do. You need to have a computer to downgrade to iOS 15.3 public release. Let's go and check the build number. As you can see, the build number for this update is 19C50. iOS 15.3 RC had build number 19C49, so Apple changed the final build for the iOS 15.3 public release. If you are updating from iOS 15.2.1 or prior, then there is a new modem firmware update for you. But if you are updating from iOS 15.3 RC, then there is no new modem firmware. Connectivity wise, iOS 15.3 is much better than iOS 15.2.1. 5G network switching issue has finally been resolved. 4G LTE connection is much more stable and call connectivity is seamless now. Also, dual SIM standby works perfectly without any issue. I haven't faced a single call drop after updating to iOS 15.3. There is no issue in Wi-Fi connectivity in any of these devices. It is quite stable and working fine. In fact, most of the issues were solved in iOS 15.3 RC version. Bluetooth and AirDrop also works perfectly after this update. No issue there. Sometime AirDrop used to fail from this iPhone 12 mini to my 2017 MacBook Air 13-inch, but now with iOS 15.3 and macOS 12.2, it works absolutely fine. Now let's talk about the changes in iOS 15.3. In the Apple Podcast app, within the library and then latest episodes, if you have hide played episodes option on, the wordings are a bit different. It now says all caught up. With iOS 15.3, Apple also released HomePodOS 15.3. When you open the Home app for the first time, there is a new setup screen. It says, "Welcome to my home. Continue to finish setting up this home." Then Siri can recognize your voice to play your music, complete personal requests, or when you ask questions. There are some changes in the wordings when you connect AirPods 3 for the first time after installing iOS 15.3. In fact, lots of wording changes are there across the OS in this version. There are quite a few changes in the child safety feature as well. If you go to settings, then on to screen time and your device is logged on as a child below the 13 years of age, then this option communication limits will be shown as communication safety. This is to protect your child from the unwanted messages and photos, but this has nothing to do with CSAM. Then there are changes in legacy contact. You will find that within settings, then your name, then password and security. Here you can see legacy contacts can access and download the data stored in your account after your death. When a friend and family member adds you as a legacy contact, their name will appear here. These wordings are new and also clarifies the utility of this option elaborately now. Then there are changes in iCloud Private Relay. You will find that within settings, then your name, and then within iCloud. This is still in beta stage and only available to the iCloud Plus subscribers. Private Relay hides your IP address and browsing activity in Safari and protect your unencrypted internet traffic. Apple has updated the wordings within the Private Relay to clarify whether you have disabled it within the cellular settings or your carrier doesn't support it. If you have recently replaced your display or battery by Apple, You will now see a new service section within settings, then general, and then about. That about section should look like this. It says parts and service history, and there is an updated URL as well at the bottom. If you go to Apple website, then this section future forward, here we go. Within this section, you can see they have released a new watch band and a watch face called Unity Lights. This is available for Apple Watch Series 4 and later. Also, they have released new Mac, iPad and iPhone wallpapers as well. As you can see, you can download those wallpapers from this link. The next one is Apple Digital ID, still not a public feature, but within the codes of iOS 15.3, the necessary programming and codes are there for the Digital ID to work. It is still not there in iOS 15.4 Beta 1 either, but we might see it around February. Once activated, you will be able to use your iPhone as your Digital ID within a few selected airports around the world. The next one is Apple Universal Control, though it is not available on iOS 15.3, but Apple has already introduced that on iOS 15.4 Beta 1, and boy, what a great feature it is. I would have loved to demonstrate that for you. I have the supporting iPad but not the supporting Mac. It is supported on MacBook Air 2018 and higher, but I will try to make a video on that later. Apart from these changes, iOS 15.3 has a lot of security updates as well. If you go to the Apple Security Update website, you will find there are a bunch of updates. Color Sync, Crash Reporter, iCloud, lots of WebKit issues and many more. One of those is the most important Safari vulnerability fix. About the bug fixes, iOS 15.3 doesn't seem to have the hitting issue or touch issue for some iPhone 12 models anymore. The different color tints are not present there either. The auto brightness issue has also been solved, at least it seems like. Though Apple didn't mention anything about the bug in the Apple Music app, which was causing major CPU usage and battery drainage for some users, so maybe Apple has fixed that already. Also, the storage bug seems to be fixed as well. On iOS 15.3, the storage space used is showing correctly, including the system data value, as you can see here. Tell me in the comments whether it is fixed for you or not. Performance-wise, iOS 15.3 is much better for this iPhone 12 mini than iOS 15.2.1 already. I'm using this for last 2 days now and I'm able to use it without any issue after this update. The battery life is also better after this update, and I use dual SIM standby in this device. With iOS 15.2.1, iPhone 12 mini used to provide around 5 to 5.5 hours of screen on time. With iOS 15.3, I am already getting 30 minutes more, around 6 hours as you can see here. No network, connectivity or heating issues in this device. AirDrop now works seamlessly across all the Apple devices as well. If you are interested, here is the Geekbench 5 scores for this iPhone 12 mini. It's 1590 for the single core and 4079 for the multi-core. I've also updated this iPhone 6s in this version. iPhone 6s is reaching the end of its life cycle and it shows with iOS 15. This update doesn't change anything in terms of performance, but with iOS 15.2 I was facing unexpected battery drain during standby. This issue is now solved with iOS 15.3, so that's a good thing. If you try to play games, it hits up pretty easily, but that is something you should understand. This is one of the oldest devices to run iOS 15, so don't try to compare the performance or battery life with newer devices. And here are the benchmark scores for this device: 551 single core and 996 multi-core. But this iPhone XR still performs very smoothly after this update. This is still a very handy device in 2022, and I believe you can still use this as your daily driver if you are a medium user. After all these years, the battery health is 86% and it still provides around 5.5 hours to 6 hours of screen on time. As I mentioned, the battery life of iOS 15.3 is better than iOS 15.2.1, so that will help this device also. This device scored 1118 single core and 2770 multi-core scores on Geekbench 5. Also, I am running iPadOS 15.3 on this iPad Air 4th generation. All the updates and patches that I mentioned previously are applicable for this device. Also, within the codes in iPadOS 15.3, there is actually Apple Pencil firmware version within the Apple Pencil settings. So maybe in future Apple will let us see that, just like the AirPods, or maybe they will use it internally for servicing purpose. We do not know. This iPad runs smooth enough after this update. Multitasking and widgets also perform fine. The battery life I get out of this device is absolutely fantastic, and this update should keep that going. I use this mainly for media consumption, and it's a great device for that. So far, it's a good update overall. If you have any supported device, then you should definitely update to this version. This update may not have many new features, but overall it will provide better stability and battery life to your device. As I mentioned before, Apple has already released iOS 15.4 Developer Beta 1 with more than 10 new features and new emojis. So we are looking forward to that as well. If you have liked the video, do hit the like button and share it with your friends, and please don't forget to subscribe to Digity. I'll see you in my next one. Peace.